in our members. Who I Jeremiah, cause it shut up in our bones. Can't sleep so deep like it came in syringes. Why? Cause our king is tremendous. Most high, serial contenders. Hallelujah. Abaya, Yahusha, Yahuda, Yahuda. Get them hands up in the sky.
Yeah, 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 yeah. 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Shalom, y'all. Shalom, y'all. Shalom. It's your boy Michael Israel here. As you can see by the title, it's gonna be a good show, and I'm sure I'm gonna come at it from an angle where whether you're a man or a woman, you will get heavy understanding. You'll be in agreement with what I say because I'm coming from a all-around view. The title might look one-sided, but what you're gonna find is it's gonna be very heavy and right and straight to the point. And like I said, y'all ask questions, but it's gonna be a heavy topic because it's just some stuff some truths I've recently come to, or some things I've been made aware of, some stuff that brother who's in a camp that he brought to my attention, and it just lined up with a lot of stuff I've already been teaching. So there's going to be some heavy truth in this. So definitely get your Bibles ready and get ready to get some heavy understanding on this. And enjoy the music while I get the show set up and I get it shared and I get some people in there. And we'll be getting started here in a couple minutes. And this show, like I said, it applies to men and women alike. And I think everybody be blessed by it.
Hey, Miss Becky. Yeah. Hey, Miss Becky.
If you come against the scriptures, man, we gon' rise up. If you come against our heritage, we gon' rise up. It don't matter, anybody get it, man, we gon' rise up. Rise up, we rise up. If you come against the king, man, we gon' rise up. If you come against our Elohim, we gon' rise up. It don't matter, anybody get it, man, we gon' rise up. We rise up, rise up, and rise up.
Oh me, oh my. Atheists tweeting OMG. Life came to a standstill and then got real with the prophecies. Every time we the past go, monopolize the monopoly. You give us 200, take 300, charge us for the property. Y'all gave us this authority. To be honest, got it honestly. Which means we are joint heirs. Siamese twins on a trampoline. We speak what he wrote. Melania's speech, Michelle's notes. Israel hit the ground running like a breech birth cause we got hope. Hold up. Yeshua is the Messiah. It's his will over our will, so we call as student drivers. He calls us his song. Sorry, Mariah. Post to carry these notes. Addressing all outsiders, we will rise
up. If you come against the scriptures, man, we gon' rise up. If you come against our heritage, we gon' rise up. It don't matter, anybody get it, man, we gon' rise up. Rise up, we rise up. If you come against the king, man, we gon' rise up. If you come against our Elohim, we gon' rise up. It don't matter, anybody get it, man, we gon' rise up. We rise up,
Yeah.
rise up, and rise up.
Rise up in the morning, see my people in poverty, crying out to my people, asking me why you bother me. Slaves, we living in colonies, walking like zombies who bred with lobotomies. Even preacher man and creature man, down low with them sodomies. And no, it isn't an oddity, rather the norm, so check the academy. They say if it ain't easy, I guess that's the academy. Rise up in anatomy, know that they lie to me, no longer lie to me. The shoe flipped up the process. Yeah, I molded the pottery. Hold up. What they gonna do when it's short? Will they ever grow up? Cause some rather breed with a bullet than a running plant seed with a sower.
Shalom, if you're just tuning in, as you can see by the title, is how to make your wife respect you. Don't be alarmed by the title. What you're gonna find is that this is an all-around approach. If you're a woman and you're watching, you're going to find what I say to be right on point. If you're a man and you're watching what I'm saying, you're going to find it to be right on point, because I think a lot of people's idea of how to make their wife or their woman respect them is, especially in this Hebrew Israelite walk, it causes a lot of marital issues and divorce problems. So, but anyway, absolutely, this is going to be a good lesson all around. So just enjoy the music, and we'll be getting started here in about a minute or two. All right. Shalom, y'all. Shalom, y'all. Shalom. It's Michael Israel here. You're watching the Spiritual Combat Show. And as you can see by the title of this show is How to Make Your Wife Respect You. Okay? And what I've seen, especially in the Hebrew Israelite walk, is a lot of men think the way to make your wife respect you is like bossing them around in public and kind of being a macho boy. Okay. And kind of one of the things that kind of inspired me to do this video is one of the brothers, he's in one of these camps, and he had reached out to me for counseling on a marital situation. And I've been just dealing with him, talking to him for a while. And he was just saying how, after, hold on one sec. So he was just saying how after, we had been talking for a while, and he was just saying how he saw in the camp he was in, just folks acting like macho boys, almost embarrassing their wives in front of all the other men to show that, yeah, I got her in check, and just being, he could see how off it was in light of a lot of the stuff I had already taught him. And you see it a lot in the Hebrew Israelite community. And in fact, he was telling me in this camp, what they run into a lot is men will come into this truth. They'll read these scriptures where the woman is to be submitted to you as unto the Lord and all that stuff like that. And how the woman is to be submitted to the man, which is book. That's right. But men are not being taught the proper avenues of how to attain and earn or win that respect from their wives. Okay. if you want to know how to make your wife respect you, it's not like that video I put up sometimes. Kneel before Zod. You know what I'm saying? Bow before me. I am your Lord. You know, a lot of dudes are going that route, literally. And they just blow their marriage right out the daggone, you know what I'm saying? They obliterate their marriage. And I'm telling you this firsthand. Like, I deal with the aftermath of this, because they call me and like, yeah, she won't kneel before me, and she also filed divorce paperwork. You know what I'm saying? So it's a reality out there. So how do you win that woman's respect? How do you make her respect you? You know, I break it down into multiple areas, because to get that woman to be submitted to you, let's start it off like this. Women are sensitive, okay? And when I say sensitive, I'm not coming like, oh, you sensitive, you weak. No, they're very tuned in and can read things very easily without them being articulated to them, without them being said to them. So while they can be emotionally sensitive and easily hurt, which plays into all this, but they are also very tuned in to who you are as a man and to whether you're a man. And something I always say is women are attracted to men and they're not attracted to feminized men or macho boys or weak men that are pushovers and all that stuff like that, or men that are just faking being a man. And what I'm saying, because they're sensitive to that. The Most High has wired them up to instinctually be able to analyze where you fall on the man chart. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times a woman, if you're not being a man in the one of these areas that I'm getting ready to break down, she's gonna pick up on it. Okay, she's gonna pick up on it. Shalom, Sister Monica. I see you on there. So what are the areas that women kind of are tuned into to where you're not going to be getting that respect from them? That can be detrimental. And you hear me go over this all the time. And like I said, I got my Bible scriptures up, so we're going to back it up with all that too. But the breakdown I always do is there has to be, when you're giving the woman balanced biblical masculinity, then she can't help but respect you and submit to you and be an obedient woman. And what that is affection, direction, and correction. You know, you always hear me break those down. And I'll say the two areas, well, it's really all three of those. So the affection is being able to understand her and what's going on with her. Okay? And as basic as I could put it, the direction is like wisdom, being wise, being able to make wise decisions, choices, moves, the way you operating with wisdom, not with anger and emotion. Like, because again, a lot of men are either just compliant, they do everything she says, treat their wife like it's their mother, or they're on the other extreme, like I talked about the brother that's in the camp, when he was telling me how a lot of men are in the camp messing up their marriages. They're on the other extreme. They're super macho boys. They just bossing them around, and they on some kneel before Zod type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times these men are on one of those extremes, and they're not balanced. They don't have balanced biblical masculinity where they're dealing with the woman from, you know what I'm saying, from a balanced perspective. So that's the wisdom of being able to see, hey, this is, and humility. So being able to see where you might be off at. Okay. It's also making wise decisions, not being an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Not making a bunch of stupid moves that put the family at risk and stuff like that. You know, so that, again, that is going to fall under the same thing as it's going to be the direction. Okay. And then the correction, again, I talked about that the other day, is being a lot of men are operating in, hey, they treat a woman, they're compliant, they do whatever she says, and they think that's the way, and it's a turnoff. And a lot of men will flip all the way over to the other extreme of overcorrecting, you know, just being super hard. And that's, again, you see that a lot in the camps, and it messes up their marriage. What the brother was saying is like he saw one of his leaders humiliate his wife in front of all the other men there and stuff like that. Okay? So he's all way over on the other extreme. And where the balance is in the middle with wisdom. You see what I'm saying? You know, there's a time to correct them, not in public. You know what I'm saying? There's a time to be compliant, and there's everything in between. So, a lot of times, one of the more one of the more and I say at the core of a lot of the issues where the women are struggling to respect the men, and one area that could be require more, that could be complicated to understand, is going to be the area of affection. Okay, being able to understand what's really being communicated. Because what the woman, a lot of times, what they're telling you or what they're nagging about, majority of the time, isn't what the issue is. It's an underlying issue that they might see in you or that they're feeling you're unaware of in them. You know, and especially with it'd be one of the areas I see a lot of men who are masculine and are balanced in the other areas, but they're not very sensitive. And when I say sensitive as a man, I'm not talking about walking around crying, acting like some chump all the time. Okay? But what I'm talking about is being sensitive to what's going on with her emotionally or whatever, what she's really saying. Like I say, that language of womanese, you know, understanding what she's saying, because a lot of times what they're saying isn't what they're communicating, and that's what you got to understand. And that's one of the areas that I'm learning in, that I'm gaining more wisdom in. You know what I'm saying? That I have to sometimes say, all right, hold on, Mike, hold on. All right, what's going on here? What am I missing? What am I not being? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times in counseling, this is the issue. You know, they don't understand that, yeah, the woman, she's the weaker vessel, and she can, when she's been hurt, it hurts her deeper in her emotions, and sometimes they don't know how to get rid of that, you know, whatever. Sometimes it's the man. Like I said, I got a shalom, brother Joel. Shalom, man. So a lot of times, yeah, it's the all right, hold on. A lot of times it's an issue with it can be an issue with the man, where he's just been off in some areas, you know. So it absolutely requires it requires spiritual growth, and what helps, you know, because once you understand this, then women become very predictable. They're not very confusing because they don't. Men are very logical, so if you're telling them something, they're gonna, okay, so you told me this, let me do this. You know what I'm saying? Like when I deal with my dudes, you know, dude be like, yo man, hey, stop doing that, or hey man, we need to do this, and they mean it, and that's that, and it's that simple. Well, women are kind of conveying how they're feeling. They're trying to convey feelings and emotions in words because they're more sensitive. They have to be sensitive. The reason, one of the breakdowns I say is one of the reasons the Most High made them sensitive is because they have to be sensitive to the needs of their family. They have to be sensitive to the needs of a baby who can't talk and communicate. So they just have to know what that baby needs just by looking at it and hearing it and feeling it and all that stuff. And I ain't got that, you know, and I seen that with my wife, with our kids, you know. So he has them designed for their role, you know. In this society, it really turns that role upside down. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, Mika, Israel. So yeah, in this society, it really turns that role upside down, and that's what creates a lot of confusion between men and women. Then you get the men who don't know, they don't understand what's going on. They're being told one thing over another, and it makes for a lot of confusion. But that's what I'm doing, is clearing up the confusion with book. Okay, so let's go to a script. I brought this up before. Let's start. I'm gonna read. We're gonna just go with 1 Timothy 3:5, and I'm gonna show you how these words get they get misinterpreted. People don't interpret these words right. They automatically think one thing when they come up, like when y'all saw the title for this, how to make your woman respect you. You were like, okay, Mike, I'm going there and talk about yell at her and tell her to kneel before you, you know. But the way you can make a woman respect you is when you do that stuff I said earlier. You see what I'm saying? When they feel understood, when they feel comfortably led by you with wisdom, when they feel, when you know how to properly correct them, and it's not always yelling, okay? I gotta be clear on that. But there is a time where they need a strong rebuke, you know, like I said in that other video. But what I've seen is, in a lot of cases, in a lot of situations, it's not that. A lot of times it's the first one I said, empathizing. You know what I'm saying? Being affection, showing the affection, showing the understanding, discerning what's going on with them. But a lot of times men don't have that sense or that skill developed, and they can't figure it out. They begin getting frustrated, and then they jump into correction. And I mean, I'd be lying if I said, you know, I never jumped into a woman's emotionalism and got frustrated and all that. Yeah, I'd be lying to you, you know. But again, we're all growing in this walk. We're developing. We're developing in this thing. Okay, it's a growth process. We're striving for perfection. And spiritual combat, Michael Israel and his relationship skills, why I have understanding in it. I ain't sitting here saying I'm perfect. You ain't hearing me say that in the video. I'm growing towards the mark. And as I learn and the Most High reveals this stuff to me, freely I was given, freely I receive, freely I give. You know what I'm saying? And I put it out there because I don't like to see people struggling through their marriage. I know what that pain feels like when you got all that frustration. And I mean, I care about my people. I want to see us come together as a nation. But the building block of our nation is our family. And the building block of our nation is our family, is marriage. We need our women. You know what I'm saying? And it can be frustrating. And brother, when you going through these situations, or when you're a woman and you're going through these situations, it's number one, there's nothing out there. It's kind of vague information that, well, let me try this. And there's no solid truth. And when you're in these situations, they're emotionally charged, and there's a lot of feelings, emotions on both sides in there. And you need exact, straight, pertinent information when you're in these situations. You can't have all this gray stuff that's out there. And that's what I'm doing. I'm putting out the straight, boom, boom. And you can hear the truth as I break it down. You know it's legit. You know what I'm saying is right. The women feel it. They know what I'm saying is right. When they say, you just don't understand me. Like, sometimes I don't, because I'm growing this sense of learning to empathize and read what you're really saying, you know? And it's a growth process, but this is wisdom. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you can quickly turn everything around in your marriage. Quickly. Not, oh, we need healing, it'll take a couple of years. No. If you get this down and really get what I'm saying, you could get quick results in your marriage. Okay? All right. Let's see what we got. So, Shalom, Monica. I see you there. Shalom, Israel, Erica. Shalom, Greg White. I see you in there. If y'all got any questions, just definitely put them in there. Okay? So, again, we're going to read this verse. 1 Timothy 3:5. It says, for if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? Okay? So that's 1 Timothy 3:5. And boom, clicks in his mind. Okay, I got to get my family in subjection. Kneel before me. You know what I'm saying? That's what pops into people's mind when those scriptures are read, men and women alike. And it's more, you have to win a woman's respect or earn the woman's respect. And when I say that, don't think I'm going to the other extreme of, oh, you got to be this treat her like mommy. Do whatever she says and earn it. No, you got to earn it through your leadership ability, through you making wise decisions, through you understanding how you need to be treating her, and for you being willing to, sometimes it requires you to correct her, and doing that in the proper scale. So as you can see, it's a balancing act, and as you're beginning to see, it requires a lot of educating, going through these scriptures and putting these scriptures in their proper light, so people aren't, okay, if a man know not how to rule his home, and I'm telling you, they be drilling these scriptures in, and then they're missing, and they got this preconceived notion of what rule your house means. And the model for how that's done is how Christ ran the church, or how Christ dealt with Israel, because that's your model. That's what you look to as a man of how you should run your house. He wasn't always cookies and ice cream with the church or with Israel as a nation, with our nation, because that was his bride, that was his wife. He didn't always treat them harshly. He would treat them nice. He was patient, long-suffering. He loved them. He was kind. He wasn't on them all the time. giving them a hard time. He led them righteously, loved them righteously, all that. But when they got off too far, he would come down and discipline them. He had all the emotions that you have, but he had them righteously at the right time, according to the way the word says to have them. He got angry. He got sad. He got jealous. Jealousy is not a sin. There's righteous jealousy. He had all those emotions. But you can read as a man and see the model of how you need to walk in biblical masculinity. And like I said, that's what I'm going to go into. That's what I'm going to teach on. All right. Shalom, Sister Sherry. You wrote, how does a believing woman apply this in her life if her husband isn't a believer? I know I'm jumping topic. No, you're not, sister. You're not jumping topic because, number one, that a sister asked for counseling on that yesterday, and I gave it to her, because that's what kind of got me to doing this message is a sister asked me for counseling on that with her husband, and then the brother I talked to who's in the camp, he just came and he was saying he appreciated what I had taught him because he saw where one of his leaders he looked up to was just mistreating his wife and embarrassing his wife, being over dominant in public to his wife in front of the rest of the congregation. And I was like, that's bad. That get me mad. Like, you're just trying to, that's selfish. So let me show you the script on that is, if I can find it here, I'm going to try. I got it here, man. Making wise decisions. Okay, I think it's okay. Oh no, that's not it. I got it here though. Okay, it might be this one. Okay, so here it is right here. Says is 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 1. Because how, and what she asks is how, say your man is treating you like mommy, basically. You're wearing the pants. He's not taking responsibility, not walking in his role. He's not walking according to biblical masculinity. Okay? So it says 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 1 through 7. It says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands. Okay? That if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of their wives, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear. So what it's saying there is, and I'm going to put in my own words, is if a man ain't walking in biblical masculinity, if he's not leading or he being needy and all that, or he's not being responsible, he's not making wise decisions, and he's not leading the family wisely, it's telling you what the world tells you is nag them and take that role and put them pants on because you equal to and this, that, and the other. And what you end up doing? Emasculating your man because you're nagging him and you're beating him down more. The word is basically telling you encourage him. Encourage him to lead with wisdom. And you women are wise. Y'all analyze stuff and sit back there and could plot and and be wise as serpents, but y'all need to be harmless as doves. So what you need to do as a woman is just encourage him. Show him the respect. Encourage him to lead. Sometimes you need to say he's not responsible with paying the bills. Well, maybe the lights need to go out. It might be worth the sacrifice of, hey, there's just not light in the house. That he will step up and begin to lead. pull back on stuff that's not going to completely destroy the family financially, and let it fall apart so he can pick it up. Because men are very logical and when they see something wrong, they'll step in and get it and pick it up. And because we're like that, we wired up to, okay, let me get that done and do that, and so use your wisdom and use your feminine wiles. Y'all know how I don't got to go into all that because I probably don't know, but y'all know how to back off stuff and let them step up to the plate and encourage him. And when he does do it, be like, baby, I really appreciate you doing that thing. And then give him that thing. You know what I'm saying? And encourage him and reward him. Don't beat him down and nag him. And because he already getting beat down out there in the world. And then you're going to beat him down more. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you go about that, doing that. All right. And let me know if I answer that, because I got another. Let me give you the other verse for that. It says, this is Ecclesiasticus 26:14. It says, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. Okay? And I got some other one. Okay, now listen, this is a real good one. Okay, this is Ecclesiasticus 26:15. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. And that word continent means exercising or characterized by restraint in relation to the desire or passions, and especially the sexual desires, temperate, showing moderation or self-restraint. So what I'm saying is, and I can show you other places in the book, you being the Proverbs 31 woman, but I can show you other places in the book where it's not saying he doing something stupid and you just shut up and be quiet, but you bring it to him in a wise, respectful way. Okay? And I'm not even saying, I'm not saying you can't even yell at him and all that, but there's a point where it turns into disrespect, and where you're beginning to chip at his masculinity and his confidence, self-confidence, and all that. Brother Ugo put out a good post showing what ego means, the definition of it. It's like, oh, don't hurt his ego. Well, ego is his moral confidence and stuff like that. Like, you look up the definition he put in there, and hopefully Brother Ugo, because I'm streaming on his channel also, hopefully he puts that in the comments so y'all can see what that definition is. Because you shouldn't beat on his ego. That's all through the book. But society tells you to beat that man down. Like, women are brainwashed by society to think they got to be like the housewives or whatever you call it. And then I tell the men, with the women, you got to understand the brainwashing that the women are under and be patient and not get so frustrated. And, you know what I'm saying? With the women, the way you throwing in the towel, you going off, you going crazy. Understand the brainwashing. So there's a lot to be taught on this. All right. So, Shalom, Brother J, Apathy, Meadow, Hose, or whatever you put there. Shalom, Brother Joel. So you put, from marriage, if I gotta do all that, getting married is pointless. Okay? You put, so why marry her sounds disobedient to the Father, worldly woman, as blinded by Satan. Okay. Marriage only benefit them. Okay. To give you a hard time, count me out, period. Okay, so what this brother's saying is he ain't rocking with it. He said it's too frustrating out there. These women, they're little monsters and all that stuff like that. So let's go in on that. I like that. That's good. And we're going to get all the meat off the bone with what you said, though. Why marry? we're all we got. Our nation is a mess. It says half of our women have been raped or molested by the time they're 20. You know, it's kind of selfish to just turn your back on the women. The other thing is, okay, it said it's not good for a man to be alone. You're going to turn into a one-handed internet bandit whacking off the internet porn if you don't get you a woman. One way or another, you need it. A lot of men don't see the benefit of being married because they don't see the benefit of marriage because they don't know how to bring the best out of a woman. Okay? And a lot of our women don't know how to bring the best out of a man because what? They've been brainwashed. A lot of times, the other thing marriage does is perfects you as a man. Like a lot of dudes who aren't married, you look at them, they got personality flaws. They got character issues. So they can't even get in any type of meaningful long-term relationship or friendships. That marriage purifies the gold. I'm going to do a video on that. I got to find this video and it shows how they purify gold. Just yesterday, my wife showed me some things about myself that I otherwise would have never seen. And it's important because it builds me up. It makes me a more well-rounded person to deal with and interact with Hebrews out there, to interact as a leader. It helped me get more in alignment with the Most High's word. What you put there is what this society wants. They want us separate. We cannot come together as a nation unless there's marriage. Period. Ain't no getting around it. Our women can't be running around there uncovered, wandering around. Now, what you're gonna find is, when you go back, you go to Spiritual Combat on YouTube and look at my past videos, and you're gonna see how the way you dealt with women in the past, where you were way off at, where you had been brainwashed and you were dealing with them in a very inefficient way. The stuff I'm teaching is very efficient and shows you exactly how to deal with women. You saw Sister Shirley put her question in there, and then it was just correct and many thanks. That's what she put, because you know in your heart when you've heard the truth and how to deal with things. I'm telling you, the brainwashing and the attack on the black family is heavy and it's real. You know, and like I said, I don't have time to go all into it, but what you just said there confirms what I'm talking about. That if you're saying what you're saying and you're not gonna I'm done with sisters because it's frustrating dealing with them. This Greco-Roman beast system won. You're doing exactly what they want. You know? Let me see what else you said, though. You said, if I gotta do all that. All right, you said, so why marry her? Sounds disobedient to the Father. Worldly women are blinded by Satan. Well, let me say this also. You should have, like what I say, first you gotta get your mind right, get your mind aligned, and know how to discern a biblical woman. I'm to the point where, and I'm married, but if I was out there in the singles market, I could discern a woman's spirit, because the way I put it, 90 or more % of women are bad relationship material. 90 or more of men are bad relationship material because they have low character. And low character is low morals. They're not in accordance with the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. They got personality issues and pride and stuff like that that they're not willing to work on. So, the Bible shows you how to quickly and efficiently discern and weed out people who are bad relationship material. But first, you got to develop your character, your charisma, your being open and how you speak and talk and being willing to be outgoing and talk to people and get to know people so you can meet enough people to find someone decent. Nobody's putting that out there. Okay? So let's see what else you said. You said, so why marry? You said marriage only benefits them. You a hard time, count me out, period. That's fine. I mean, like I said, that's why I do these videos. You could listen to it, or you could go click on something else. I'm not forcing this down nobody's throat. I'm not pulling nobody's arm. So Yeshua's disciple, that is the benefit. It teaches you to not seek benefit, but to benefit another. Brother, that's heavy, man. Yeshua's disciple, man, that's good. That's facts. That sums it all up. A lot of brothers have been hurt and selfish. You know, and I'm not even going to say selfish, but he's been hurt, deep hurt. And the women, like, I used to wonder, why are these women, like, so vicious? And, like, it seemed like they just got a natural hate for me, deep-seated. And they're frustrating to deal with, and they be like little monsters. But when you think of that statistic, 1 out of 2, half of our women have been raped and molested. I found out recently it's even worse than that. And they've been done wrong by men. The men, the core men that they should be trusting them for protection and everything like that have let them down and violated them in the worst way. Then you got to have some mercy in your heart. Grace, mercy, patience, long suffering. This is the stuff that has to be developed in us. You're not going to grow in this unless you develop that. And it's painful. And some dudes, men and women alike, are just, they're not going to grow. They ain't about the book. And that's where I draw the line of division at. I don't draw the line of division with other brothers and sisters over doctrine. I draw the line of division with other brothers and sisters over moral character. So if you're not willing to grow in this thing, you know, I'm not rocking with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not rocking with you because we can't go nowhere. All right, Shirley put, people have stopped looking at the heart. Christ sees the heart and not the face. Thank you, sister. And people have also don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to, but it says the word is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Okay? It says it's a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart, and it cuts right straight through it. Ain't no getting around it. Yep, get wisdom, get understanding. You're right. So that is, so yeah, man, that's, you know, that's the benefit of, you know, of marriage. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's a, you know, we have to do this thing. But a lot of people don't want to improve. You know, a lot of people don't want to, because it can be painful. It can cause. That's why it says pride is one of the big hindrances to growth. Like being willing to admit, hey, I'm off. You know what I'm saying? My mind ain't right. You know, I got areas I need to improve in and stuff like that. You know, pride is one of those big hindrances. You know, like I said, I don't get up here and say I'm perfect with spiritual combat and my biblical understanding, even in relationships or my relationship. I'm not saying my relationship is perfect, but I can tell you this, me and my wife, we move forward. We grow. We're not stagnant. We're not stiff-necked. Okay? We're not you know, we're not stiff-necked as far as we're always willing to change and consider the other and all that. We're pressing towards the mark. And when you're doing that, you're going to be putting fruit out. You're going to be yielding fruit. But when you stiff neck and you like, well, it ain't me, it's her and all that stuff, and I ain't, these women, this marriage, it's a pain and it only benefits them and all that stuff like that. It is what it is. You know, it's cause and effect. So you're gonna you put that out there, you know, you're gonna get that. Exactly. Fitz Carlton, progressing. Exactly. You gotta progress forward. You gotta grow. You gotta, because for instance, with me, as I progressed through relationships, because I went through a point where I was at a point where I couldn't meet women or have any relationship that lasts over one sexual encounter, but I kept growing and developing myself it got to the point where I was meeting women all the time. And then the next thing you know, I met my wife. Boom, we got married. Then I realized there was a whole ton more growth to do. Boom, I started growing. She started growing. We started growing, maturing more, seeing errors in ourselves, seeing errors in each other, humbling down, being willing to grow among each other, to the point where the next thing you know, you go from a student and learning to the next thing you know, you're the leader of men. And people are coming to you for answers and advice and all that. And you realize, you're like, I ain't got no answers. I ain't got no advice. Then the next thing you know, you realize they ask you the question. You're like, oh, well, all you got to do is this. Oh, you got to. And then you realize, man, I am a leader of men. Or I am a leader of women or a counselor or whatever. Because you done put the work in. But when you just throw your hands up and give up, you ain't going to yield no fruit. You taking what God gave you, burying it in the ground. You know what I'm saying? Instead of multiplying what he gave you and edifying people. You know what I'm saying? So what are you in the body? Are you fat on the body of Christ? Are you feces in the body of Christ? You know, what are you? What is your role in the body of Christ? How are you benefiting the body? All right. Fitz put what you put out comes back multiplied, whether bad or good. That's right, bro. That's good. All right, so Yeshua's disciple put, thank you, he put, I was a real mess before I was filled by the Ruach. My wife witnessed me into some very dark behavior, addiction, rebellion to all that was good, jail and institutions. Wow. When Yah got a hold to me, I knew. He said, what was wifey material. She had some character flaws like jealousy and nagging a lot. But if she could be patient with me, that's the least I could do. Man, that's book, man. That's what the book's about. Like, that's what the Most High is trying to get people at, is where this brother is at. Like, that spirit, he's in there. You know? Let's see. Positive flow. Put hallelujah, blessings. This is Watcher's King. Oh, okay. Shalom. Shalom, Brother Ramon. Shalom, man. Yeah, check out the whole message. We was getting it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I got checked. Cause I'm streaming a bunch of different. I'm gonna check y'all out over there on Ron's page real quick. See what y'all saying. I forgot I was over there. I'm gonna see if y'all put anything in there. Okay, y'all cool over there. All right, but anyway, so yeah, you know, it's a growing process, you know. Oops. All right. But yeah, it's a growing process. You know, you if you get easily frustrated in this walk, it's because of pride and lack of self-examination. You know, when you feel pain, any type of pain, whether it's the pain of pride, whether it's the pain of frustration, of anger and all that stuff like that, when you feel I'm not going to say pain, but those strong emotions, when you're feeling that, that's a signal that, hey, you need to be looking at what's going on in this area of your life. When you feel frustration, or some part of your life is off, or something you don't want to consider, it's a signal that, hey, look at this area and see what's going on there. It takes humility to do that. Mindset will do, brother. I'm not sure what you put there. Watchers King. All right, let me check something here. But yeah, so it's it's a process for sure. But yeah, so anyway, but with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I gotta get to work. Actually, yep, I gotta get ready and head out. Appreciate y'all tuning in, watching. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you share the video. That helps me out, helps get this word out. But like I said, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Subscribe to the Spiritual Combat channel on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, touch the screen. If you're watching on a phone, touch the screen there and click those 3 dots in the upper right and click to receive notifications when I go live on my Spiritual Combat channel, so you can receive notifications when I go live. But anyway, with that said, I hope this lesson was edifying. I didn't get through all of it. I'll probably watch the video again and do another video to go all the way through it. Make sure I get all the meat off the bone with it. If you got any questions or comments or anything, contact me. Like I said, I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Twitter, I'm all over the place. Spiritual Combat. So anyway, with that said, I'm Michael Israel. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Shalom, y'all.